Okay, so my deal, the thing that keeps me up awake at night, the reason I have had somewhat dangerous discussions with street molesters is space. Space and the right to own space. My right to be comfortable in spaces that I occupy. I recognize three kinds of spaces. Public spaces, like streets, shared spaces, shared activity-specific spaces, like maybe mixed gyms, and then private spaces, the space that is the body, okay? Now, I just recently became an African yoga instructor, and we were taught that this is the span of your aura. This is the space that, if nothing else, you should have a right to as a human being who was born into the universe. Now, street molesters can't have gotten that memo. Because from when a woman is 13, say, in Kampala, in the rest of the world, from when a girl starts becoming a woman, she is subjected to a lot of abuse, a lot of street molestation. Men will hiss, men will fondle, men will grab. I mean, the first time I was bothered in a taxi, I was 13. I was wearing a school uniform. So they will fix themselves into your consciousness using lecherous words, leers, and all of these things. Now, I first decided to embark on a fitness journey in 2012. I was working a desk job, which was completely inappropriate for me and the kinds of energies that I possess. I was stationed in Kamocha. And what happened is that when I decided to embark on this running journey, I was depressed. So I said, you know what, let me fight this. Let me create some serotonin. Let me run. And when I began, I was really afraid. In fact, this idea to run came to me at a time when I was experiencing a really horrible kind of anxiety where I was afraid of other people's eyes. I didn't like to go outside. I didn't like to go out for lunch because relentlessly, the men at the border stage and at the taxi stage would wriggle their tongues and grab and say things, and no kind of reaction that I had ever stopped them. I didn't feel powerful enough to look a person in the eye and say, stop. That's no longer my problem. So when I began to run, these here were what saved me. I won a pair of Beats by Dre. They're really old now. They don't even have their papula here. But I won these in a competition, and so they became my ticket to running through Kamocha's streets. And what happened is that my confidence grew so much that this was the first time that I ever stood up to a street molester. A man, as I was running by him, yelled, "How is your vagina?" And I was like, what? How can... I ran back towards that man. I ran to him and said, repeat what, because he said it loud enough to get through these monster beats of mine. So I ran towards him and I said, repeat what you said. And I was very serious, and he didn't. He couldn't. So, congratulations, Mildred of 2012. High five. So, once this fear, this anxiety, this fear of outside spaces, of public spaces like streets, once it abated, the universe, I think, was like, oh, wait. You have 2 more tests, okay? You're not done yet. We're not done with you. So, I got into shared spaces, such as gyms, through a really unfortunate incident. I'd become a long-distance runner. I was great at it. But then, as I was running down a mountain, don't run down mountains. As I was running down a mountain, I broke my leg. And so, I had to be sedentary for 3 months. And that wouldn't happen. It couldn't happen. I was like, no. Let me at least learn about something else. Let me learn about strength training. So, armed with Google, I read up a little bit here and there. I talked to one of my besties about it. And I bought a subscription in a gym. I limped in on my healing leg. And I began to do things here and there. I would consult Google all the time. I'd text my best friend. And I was getting there, I was getting to the point of doing like squats, with my bum leg. I really should not have been doing squats, but I was. So I was squatting something like 10 kilograms, which is nothing for the seasoned strength trainers here. I was squatting 10 kilograms when this man, dressed in baby blue, I promise, it's no lie, baby blue from the top to the bottom, okay? Blue cap, blue clothes, shorts meanwhile, blue shoes, socks. So this guy, he swaggered, he came to me as I was like struggling with 10 kilograms. And then he was like, get the hell off the machine. And I was like, what now? He was like, get the hell off. I was like, no. So we began this eye, contact thing. We began staring each other down, which everybody knows, like that stage before real combat. Stared each other down. Like, are you serious? So this guy, screaming about my disrespect as a woman, screaming. He was like, I will get you. He tried to lunge. He lunged and tried to grab me. But I was too fast. I ducked, and someone came between us. And then he tried to throw a dumbbell at my head. He tried to throw a dumbbell at my head. Now, that left me, I was really afraid, but I was like, I'm not going to lose this, no. So I stuck to the machine, and I very shakily finished. In fact, I think that's when I transitioned to like lifting, like squatting, like 12 kilograms, because I finished those things really fast, I was like, let me finish and leave. And that was the day when I vowed that I would never enter another gym unless I owned it. So, that vow didn't come to pass. I entered one more gym. But anyway, that's where I met my lead trainer now. Now, this brought me to the third space, okay? The third space. This brings me to the third space, which is the body, okay? So we have gotten from public spaces, which are the streets. We've come down to shared spaces that we have to share, like mixed gyms. And now, I'm taking you through my definition of the most personal of spaces, the body. Now, at the beginning of 2014, last year, I opened up an exclusively women's gym and a couple of social media pages to go with it. Now, at the time, we were a really small group of women. We had 1 or 2 classes, if it was our first trainer with African yoga. We had strength training. We got equipment from some really kind souls, such as Solomon King. He donated some equipment to us. We got equipment from here and there. We created a space that women could come into and enjoy exclusive and enjoyable and rigorous exercises, some of which women had been told they couldn't do in other gyms. For example, self-defense. Now, while self-defense was my most popular, not most popular, it was the least popular, it was my most well-loved class. Women were kind of scared of it. They were kind of scared of the perception. So what I did is I tacked it onto the kickboxing class. So there you are, boom powing when the class shifts into a self-defense class. You won't even know it. So with this space, now we have expanded into creating wellness seminars, into creating very tailored personal safety curricula for university women, for corporate women, and for market women. These are the 3 groups that we are concentrating on right now. And we have also graduated to creating wellness packages. So late last year, we created a 3-day wellness seminar for a group of LGBTQIA activists. It was really deep, you guys. There was so much to share there. I really felt like I was in the right job. I was doing the right thing. So let's go back to when I first began FitClick. I'm not supposed to mention that, but well, FitClick Africa, not even 256. So without intending to, I had become the unofficial leader of a fitness movement. People said, hey, the woman of women's gyms, okay, let's see what she looks like, So being the unofficial leader of a fitness movement came with expectations, as I later found out. From July to September, I was part of a fellowship, and this changed my living arrangement somewhat. I lived in and worked in Indiana, then DC for a bit, and this experience took me through every single emotion on the spectrum of emotions. At one point I was elated, at another point, oh my God, I was missing matoke. At one point I was like, oh my God, did somebody just throw a racist thing at me? I was like, no. At some point I was like, no, my friend said I should expect this, I would be paranoid. Like, there was just so much going on, and there was so much information and so much greatness that I went through the entire spectrum of existing emotions. And to deal with these, I ran. I ran through the University of Notre Dame. It's beautiful, it's expansive, and it was really good for my soul. And after one particularly amazing run, one of my fellows came to me, and very gingerly, in her adorable French accent, she came to me and said, "But Mildred, you exercise so much. How are you so fat?" I swear it was her French accent that saved her. and then, maybe, I don't know if it was fate doing this, but a week later, my company, my organization, we were hosting a self-love project on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. And so I sent a picture in. It was a bikini picture. Oh, I was looking nice. I was looking intense, you guys. So I sent this picture to my manager at the time and said, put it up. And in my caption, I wrote about gaining fat. And I also wrote about how adorable I looked. I also wrote about how great I felt about myself and my body, and sent it to her. And she put it up immediately. She was excited. You guys, not even 5 minutes had passed before the body police swerved in on their big motorcycles of bigotry and horribleness. They swerved in and they were like, how dare you, the leader of a fitness movement, be unashamed and happy in the face of fatness? Unacceptable. How can you come and talk about gaining 10 kilograms? You're irresponsible. And this was when truly it dawned on me just how important a fitness movement needed wellness. Wellness needs to be brought into fitness spaces. Because you can be insane and depressed with abs showing through your shirt. I've been there. You can be depressed and insane with a liberal belt of fat around your hips, around your waist. I've been there also. So when it comes to wellness, when it comes to getting ourselves out there and doing these things that are good for our minds and our bodies, we need to focus on our emotional and physiological wellness just as much as we focus on our physical fitness and wellness. So people have told me that your business is not going to go very far if you don't focus on the 30-year-old woman who is not yet married, who is conscious about her body because she's trying to attract a mate, or if you don't focus on these young mothers who have just had babies who are afraid their husbands will cheat on them. Look, I am not going to fat shame women into fitness. I am not going to fat shame and body shame women into wellness. I mean, look at me. I'm a runner, I'm a dancer, I'm a yogi, I'm a kickboxer. I'm a strength trainer. I can probably deadlift the heaviest person in this room. I am extremely strong and extremely happy most of the time. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I can't see my abs in the mirror if I go look. It has nothing to do with anything like that. Okay? So we need to shift our focus. We need to focus on what's really important. We need to take bullying out of the space that is fitness and wellness. And we need to stop feeling like we have opinions about other people's bodies, their spaces, this space that is so personal to humans. So most importantly, we cannot achieve wellness without safety. Without safety and the confidence to demand safety. Without the idea that we have a fighting chance in the face of legislatively sanctioned undressings of women. I think you all remember Lokodo. Our bodies have to be dictatorships. There cannot be democracies where everybody has a say. No. Our bodies deserve to own the grounds beneath our feet. Our bodies deserve to move through life unmolested. Okay? Women don't have a certain special shield around their emotions to shield them from the leers and the stares and the grabs and the weird marriage proposals. No, we don't have a shield. There's no shield, okay? So our bodies deserve our loving attention. And as one member of my conglomeration of besties, I have so many, as one member of my conglomeration of besties said yesterday, as women, we have been taught, we've been conditioned to believe that our bodies are for decorative purposes, But hey, no. This is not a decoration. It looks good, but it's not a decoration, okay? This is where I live, okay? Thank you.